What up guys, it is Justice here and welcome to another Runescape video. I am back from RuneFest and there will be a RuneFest video coming out soon where I'll discuss what I got up to, and if you want to tune into tonight's stream, I will be discussing a lot about RuneFest there as well. But today's video is about virtual leveling, an update that came to Runescape today, as well as other patches that I really want to cover, the ones which I find the most interesting, such as the Darklight being buffed, the Sun Spear being nerfed, the Crystal Armour set effect being introduced, and the changes once again to, yes, the next boss fight. In order to activate the virtual leveling system, you need to go into game settings, miscellaneous. You can toggle the virtual leveling here. You can also toggle the golden trim around your max level stats, and you can also choose what icon you would like to display on your max level stats, and by max level stats that is level 120. Those with a gold symbol next to their name means they've reached that 120 level. If the symbol is like a light blue symbol, that means they've reached 200 million max XP. So as you can see, I've zoomed in on my virtual levels, which there seems to be a huge trend across Twitter right now where everybody's posting their virtual levels. I also posted mine there. My max level is of course 120 magic. My next level from that is 117 constitution, and then my next level below that is 113 range with DG, and then 111 strength. My next 120 will most likely be a combat skill because I'm not really much of a skiller. I'm more into just doing combat on the game, so I'm assuming it's probably going to be 120 range or strength, and then after that will be 120 constitution. I'm also quite surprised. It was quite nice to see a 104 Slayer level there. I had no idea I had that much XP. I've got around 24 million Slayer XP, and a lot of that was from doing the comp requirements because I just had to constantly do Dark Beast Slayer tasks. I don't know whether any of you remember that, but on stream I was just constantly trying to get Dark Beast Slayer tasks, and also of course when the Rune Dragons came out there was a lot of hype around Slayer at that point, so I did get around 14 million Slayer XP in total from doing all the different comp recs and doing Rune Dragons, so that was pretty sweet. And I had a viewer who messaged me today on the game saying, I loved your Slayer Sunday series, please do that again. And you know what? I've actually got a slight feeling of wanting to bring that back. Potentially doing some slaying on Sundays, putting a focus on it, 1 to 2 million XP within that day, sharing with you that journey, and slowly progress towards a 120 Slayer. But yeah, in terms of virtual levels, feel free to share yours down below in the comment section. Just shout out your max highest levels that you've got or the highest XP you've got within a skill. That'd be awesome to share it with the community. But yeah, let's get straight into the Darklight buff. When I heard about this, I was like, yes, let's go to kal-gerion Demons, try and grind out this XP and share with you guys an awesome video saying you can get like 1 million XP. It's amazing. But anyway, got a bit carried away with myself there. Went there just to check out the XP myself. So in terms of the actual buff, all existing demons are now weak to Darklight in addition to any existing weaknesses. This means that using the Darklight against a demon will bypass any style restrictions, which essentially means it will bypass the combat triangle. So I decided to check it out off task at kal-gerion Demons because of course I didn't have a task. I did the basic XP without Jazz or Nihil accuracy boost, and to be honest was only tracking about 240k XP pure strength XP per hour, so it's not going to wow you. Melee training, you're best sticking with the Nox Scythe at the Abyss or Saradomin KC, that's Zilliana. But I also decided to track it with magic XP, and this is basic XP, so without Jazz or Nihil boosts, and again it was actually roughly about the same XP per hour, so it's not too bad. Obviously they have buffed the melee now, so it's in line with magic. However, I think magic would still be slightly better if you whip on a runic accuracy aura. I still feel that would be better for you per hour, but overall they have buffed it slightly. You'll see later on with my magic setup, but yeah. The Sun Spear has been nerfed, guys. Vampires will no longer be 6 to 7 mil an hour. It was something like 100% drop rate when you had a Sun Spear on. It was fantastic drops. Now it's just like 1 in 5, so it has been nerfed slightly. I've not had time to go and test it out, however. The Crystal Armour and the set effect still doesn't make it really worth it when PVMing. If anyone didn't know, they have been working on a set effect behind the scenes with the Crystal Armour because it came out and there was no real incentive to go and grind out 20 hours at the new Crystal Shapeshifters after the Seren Quest to really get that full armor set. Well, now they've implemented a set effect. In terms of the set effect, I'm not going to go into it in great depths, but from what I can understand, it's not really going to make you wear it for PVM. Not many people are using Seren spells and prayers at the moment anyway, but what it will do is offer you a chance to increase the duration of Crystallize by 15 seconds, and that is only if you're wearing the full attuned Crystal Armor set. That's the tier 80 hybrid version. So also it used to take about 20 hours of grinding to get the full set, but now with every attuned piece you wear, you will have an increased chance of fragments dropping from shapeshifters. So overall, if you're killing shapeshifters, this armor's fantastic, and potentially, rather than it being used as a PvM hybrid armor, which I feel like it should have really been used for, instead, you might just be using it as a skilling outfit with the crystallized spell or crystallized mask. But I have just realized something. The set effects, such as the Tardian Fury set attack that deals damage around you depending on your weapon and agility level, you can have this effect when you wear at least 3 pieces of the normal version. So it's not just about attuned versions here, which has actually made me think the normal versions don't take that long to get. You can get up to 250 crystals per hour here if you're fighting the shapeshifters with max combat. So the normal versions getting 3 pieces won't take too long. They'll take around 3 hours roughly. And then you'll be able to get this set effect where it deals damage around you depending on your weapon and agility level. That sounds really good for slaying. Now this set effect, once you wear a 4th piece of the Crystal Armour, also has a chance of removing stun and bleed effects with the Tardian Fury active. And the problem with this one is I can't really see where you would use this except for if you're fighting shapeshifters. So then I was like talking to the clan chat, and some guy pointed out really well actually around maybe Kal-Fight King. This guy was called Thighs, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe Kal-Fight King. I don't actually do that boss, so that kind of makes sense because you get stunned a lot, you get a lot of bleeds, which are inflicted upon you. But if you're a good KKer, then you will predict when those stuns are going to happen. You will have Anticipate or Freedom ready to do that. If you're just relying on a piece of armor that has a chance of doing it, then I still don't feel like the kill's going to be that smooth. If it was a guarantee that it was going to remove stun and bleed effects, which were going to be on you like all the time, then yeah, that would make sense to wear it at KK because you wouldn't have to bother with Anticipate and you could just constantly focus on DPSing. But the fact that you can just predict those attacks if you're a good enough KKer and just use Anticipate, I still don't feel it's worth it there. From what I could gather, it looks like the buffs to the armor set have been implemented just to help you more at the crystal shapeshifters themselves, maybe for melee or maybe for XP training, for combat stats, or when you get them on Slayer tasks. Other than that, like I said earlier, it's definitely looking more of a skilling outfit. Or saying that just to add in there, because I do focus too much on the higher levels sometimes, it probably is a nice alternative for mid-tier levels out there for Slayer tasks, PvM combat, whatever, because it is tier 70 hybrid armor at the end of the day and tier 80 if you wear the attuned version, which is giving people decent defenses, just not the damage output from power armors. So just to conceptualize that, you can wear the normal versions of the armor to get the Tardian Fury, and so the PvM effects, the area damage effect, and the removal of stuns and bleeds, so the chances of those happening. But you do need the full attuned version of the armor to get the set effect where it will increase crystallize up to 15 seconds, and that's including the crystal mass. But it's only a chance of doing that, up to 7.5% chance if you're wearing all 5 pieces. And just to end the video here, I'm going to address the changes with necks, and I feel like I'm doing this like once a month at the moment. They do seem to change it a lot, but I think it just is because it's a very, very popular boss and they just want to get it right and keep it within the time and the current state of the game. So any kind of bleed ability will now heal next in the blood phase, so that's melee tendrils and the new raid abilities Corruption, Blast and Shot. They used to bypass this healing process and instead carried on to damage her. This will no longer happen, making the blood phase slightly harder for anyone who hasn't learnt it before that was the case. But for the majority of us who soloed next before these abilities, you should be fine. You'll just have to change up your ability rotation a little bit. And as you can see, I am perfectly showing you a fantastic example of the blood phase here, where you're just putting shitloads of bleeds onto Nex, and it's just healing her right up to full, and then I end up dying at the end. So yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, as you can see, the melee tendrils and the corruption shot, which I'm using here, do in fact heal Nex now in the blood phase. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you like these weekly updates with the patches, and I can keep on doing them whenever there's an interesting patch, because I know the strategy that Jagex are moving forward with is a huge update once a month and then each week just little patches, and the patches aren't always obvious. So it's quite nice to point them out sometimes, and I'm pretty interested in little things that are always changing with the game. So yeah, I'd like to share those with you. Make sure to thumbs it up if you do like this sort of stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.